Hey y'all, welcome and welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Just Behave, and I'm gonna show you guys how I got these super cute nails using my non-dominant hand, y'all, because this one was, a little task. So first we're gonna start off with this Kiss Acrylic French kit. Y'all, I love this kit. I have multiple videos on my channel using this kit, and it pretty much comes with everything that you're gonna need for like the base foundation of your nails. It has the nail glue, it also has like the monomer, the acrylic, this brush which we don't even use, and then it has the nail tips. It has a French white, and then it has like the natural nail tips, which I rarely use, but I might use them in another video. But today we're going to use the French. So it also comes with this buffer file. I do not use that, y'all. It's just gonna waste your time. It doesn't do what it needs to do. So this is what I do in order to do my left hand, because I am left-handed and it's really hard for me to do nails with my right hand. I try to do things a little bit differently, that way I can be faster and my nails can come out cute. So I size the nail tips and then I cut them down. You can use scissors, or if you have this nail tip cutter, you can use that as well. So I just get it to a length that I like because I don't want them to be super duper long. So I'm going to go ahead and cut all of them to size, and then I'm going to place the nail tip on this little stand for press on nails, and I'm going to use an 11 millimeter liner brush, and I got this from Savvyland. They sent it over to me, and I love, love, love the brush kit that they sent me. I'm gonna be using this Melody Susie Black Abyss polish, and y'all, I should have stopped right here because I was wasting product. I do not need like two um, scoops. I just needed one, so I ended up wasting it. But y'all, look, this is just an example of how I just draw on the nail. So I wanted to do like a zebra vibe, so I go in with this nail brush, and you want to just do like, light squiggles. And as you can see, this polish is really pigmented, so I don't have to go over it multiple times. It's really pigmented. I absolutely love that gel polish. I'll link it. I got it from Amazon. But what I do is just do squiggly lines. I make sure I have like a little space in between. I do a little squiggly line and try to make sure the end of the line is really thin, and then I turn the nail tip around. That way I can kind of make sure everything is cohesive and it looks nice and it flows evenly, because I like to start the design at the corner of the nail. That way the thickness can be at the corner and not on the tip of the line. So I'm just doing that to get like that animal print vibe. So I'm going to continue doing it, and per nail I'm going to say it took me like about a minute and 30 seconds to do it, just because I just want to make sure that it's clean and I don't want to mess up. But if you're more advanced, you can go faster or you can go slower, but I made sure to do this in real time so that you guys can kind of see how I was able to get this. But if you are doing this on someone else, or you feel like you don't need to do this step, you can just do it to what you're comfortable with. But I feel like for me to have just a cleaner look, that helped me. So now I'm going to go in with this gel top coat, and this is by D&D, I believe, and I'm running out of it actually. I've had it for a while. I just decided to use it. Now you guys, I top coat that way the monomer doesn't mess up my nail designs. And now I'm going to go ahead and just apply the nail tips. I size it again just to make sure I don't have to file or anything, and just to gauge where I want it to be placed. And then I'm going to go ahead and put a few drops of the nail glue onto my nail bed, as well as the nail tip. And if you guys want to see how I prep my nails, I have multiple videos on my channel, and I'll also do a nail prep video if you guys like. So I just go ahead and place it on there. I'm not pinching it, I'm just pressing it to make sure that it's secure. And as you guys can see, I'm doing the same thing, just applying some glue. And I'm being a little bit heavy handed because I'm not right handed, so I'm just trying to have as much control as possible. So I'm just going to go ahead and apply it one more time, make sure that it's straight, and then press it down. And I'm taking my time, y'all. I'm not rushing. And period. This is how it looks with just the nail tips. And honestly, I could have left the design like this, but I just had to be extra. So now for the shaping, you guys, you want to hold the nail probably to your real nail or your finger, or you can even put it on that little acrylic jar that I have over there. And you want to just not overfile. You want to apply enough pressure to where it can shape the nail, but you want to make sure after every few up and downs or side to sides, you pull it off and just look at it to make sure you're not overdoing it. So with certain fingers, I have to use that acrylic jar in order to like kind of get some balance or sturdiness. And then the shaping is pretty much done. I'm also gonna go in with protein bond. This is what I use to make sure my nails stay on for a long time and they adhere. And now we're gonna go in with the monomer, which I poured into my dapping dish, and the acrylic powder. So I work really wet with the beads with this acrylic powder because I noticed that it dries down really quickly. So I work wet, and this is a size 14 brush because that brush that it comes with, y'all, the nails is not gonna give you, you're gonna be stressed out. So I work with the wet bead, y'all, and I'm just dragging it down so that the bead, can just look nice. And I'm trying to make sure that I keep the shape. Being that I'm working with my non-dominant hand, you want to make sure you clean up the sides so that way you don't have too much work to do when it comes to shaping and filing after. And I'm just spreading that acrylic, as you can see, is still wet or whatever. And I make sure to dip my brush just to make sure that it's wet enough. And I'm just going in with little small beads, just to get that perfect blend, and so that I don't have a lot of work to do when it comes to the filing and shaping process. So as you guys can see, I'm just going in with super wet beads, not crazy wet, but wet enough to where it's not drooping on my sidewalls or my nail cuticle area, but wet enough to where it can spread and move around and give me time to just pat it in place. So I'm going to go ahead and continue doing that same thing, you guys. So as you guys can see, I'm just pushing that in towards my cuticle area, not trying to flood the cuticle, and then I'm going to go ahead and drag down. And then I move my nails side to side, and I also make sure that I look at the nails to make sure that it's not like super lumpy and bumpy, because I want to even nail that way I don't have to file and shape a lot. So, and I'm making sure I pat the sides, you guys. You want to make sure you pat the sides, clean around the cuticle area if you do notice that the acrylic is flooding, because that will be a problem when it comes to adhering and longevity of the nails. So, yeah, that's basically what I do. Pat the sides. I pat them a lot, y'all. But let's go ahead and move on. All right, y'all. So I'm just adding a little bit more because when I moved my nail around, I noticed that there was a little dip in that area, so there wasn't enough product. And then I'm gonna go ahead and spread it. Make sure I go in a downward motion. Make sure you go around that cuticle with the tip of the brush just to clean it up. That way you don't have flooding and your nails can stay on. Okay? Okay. And then I'm going to do the same thing to the next nail. And I'm just going to walk you guys through it because it may look lumpy and bumpy and not, like the perfect application, but it's okay. Like I'm using my non-dominant hand. And your application doesn't have to be super duper perfect. You can use as many beads as you want. You can do what makes you comfortable. It's just about the end result. And also, you guys, with these nail tips, you won't be able to get like a super duper tapered square look because the nail tips are wide and they also curve. So that's something to keep in mind also with these. So I'm a tapered square girl, but with these, they're more like a curved square vibe. So they're kind of tapered. They're not really pinched in, but they do have a curve on them. So you're not gonna get like that super duper sharp, sharp, sharp square. I don't know. If you know, you know. If you don't, like you'll have to like. I'll probably have to do another video to show you guys. But I'm applying the acrylic again, you guys, and I went in with a bigger bead. Just trying to be fast, girl. But it worked out, but you see how I'm lightly working it in, and the bead is wet, but it's not too wet. And like I said, this acrylic dries really quickly, so that's something to keep in mind. That's why I do wet beads. So I'm just, pushing that into my cuticle area, try to make sure that it's in every single little corner, and then I'm just dragging down that acrylic because I don't want to let it sit there for a long time and dry out or be humpy up there. So I want a good apex, but I don't want it to be like a super duper huge lump to where my nails don't feel smooth when I'm filing it, or it's just gonna give me a lot of extra work because if you work with your non-dominant hand, it's already a task doing that and trying to be sturdy. But if you just go crazy and apply too much acrylic and not make sure your foundation is good, it's gonna be a lot of work to fix in order to get the look that you want. So now you want to put your hand facing towards yourself. That way you can look to see if you have any like, curves or grooves in the nail, or just to balance the nails out. That way you don't have a lot of work to do in the end and your nails aren't looking weird when you turn them side to side. So this is the application, and I think it looks pretty good for my right hand if I say so myself. But What do I know? Just kidding. So y'all, now I'm gonna go ahead and file. So as you guys can see, I'm pushing my skin away to get that little piece of acrylic that's over there because I did have some slight flooding, which is okay. So this is gonna basically seal it. And as you guys can see, I'm doing the same thing on the other side. So while I'm doing that, I'm going in lightly. You don't have to like eat hand file super duper hard and keep going and going because that will mess up your shape and you'll notice it at the end. So I'm just going in, y'all, lightly going in and just filing. And I also put my hand on the acrylic jar just to go up and down in a 90-degree angle just to make sure it's sharp. And I pull it off just to make sure it's still looking straight. I look at it, move it around a little bit, and then when I get, what I like, I stop. Now I'm going in with my e-file. Now you can stop over there if your application is really good, but I like a sealed cuticle and I want my nails to stay on. So this step is really important to me. I go in with this fine bit. I don't use medium because it'll take down the nail too much. I go in with extra fine or fine. That's what I've been doing lately and it's been really, really good to me. So I just go around my cuticle and I'm using a really low speed, y'all. Look at that, super low. You don't see a bunch of acrylic flying everywhere. And that's just to clean up my cuticle area so that I don't have any flooding going on and I can make sure that everything is sealed. And you see the angle that I'm using it in. I'm not really pushing it on my cuticle so I don't cut myself because you will cut yourself if you're not careful. Now I'm going in with the hand file and I kind of do like these type of motions. When I do that, it balances the nail out and then I always rub my fingers on the nails to make sure like they feel smooth and not lumpy and bumpy because I don't want a lumpy bumpy nail. And then I go in with this mini buff. Look at that, smooth. And I just bump the nail, rub on it to make sure that it's like smooth. There's no speed bumps or humps or mountains or nothing. So I'm just gonna do that. And y'all, I'm talking so fast. Let me calm down. And then I go in with some alcohol, you guys, and just brush my nail off. I don't use acetone for this part because I just feel like no. And then I go in with this solid nail glue. And this is the cherry design, you guys. I seen it on Instagram and I was like, I have to do this. So you just roll them into two balls. And then you go in with this little silicone pin thing and you just press it out and shape it. So this part is really, really, it's easy, honestly. Like anybody could do it. But I'll be sure to link everything in my Amazon storefront. But you just want to use this rhinestone glue from Betty Cora. I love that glue. And this is what I'm going to use to do the stems of the nail. So you can't really see it because it's clear. And then I'm putting clear on color. So it kind of just looks like I'm putting top coat in a line, but I'm just adding it on so that I can build up like the stem, make sure it's like still giving like the 3D vibes or whatever the case may be. And take your time with this, y'all. I'm using my non-dominant hand and as you can see, it's still coming out nice because you gotta be patient. If you want your nails to give, you gotta just take your time and not overwhelm yourself. So remember that. So now I'm going in with the second layer after I cure the first layer and I'm just going over it again just to build a little bit of height. Now I'm going in with this gel paint and I got this from AliExpress like, I'm not gonna lie to y'all, like 6 years ago when I started nails. And I paid for like a bunch of colors or whatever. And as you guys can see, this is messy because I'm using my non-dominant hand. You can see all the little spots and stuff. I wipe that off with some alcohol on a little cleaner brush and you good. I'm just trying to make sure I cover up the whole entire thing so that you can see. The cherries are so cute. Like, oh my gosh. But yeah, so I'm just going in really slow, really sturdy, you guys. And I made sure I recorded it in real time so that you guys can see it. So I'm just going in, y'all, going over the line, making sure the lines look good. And I sped it up because you just basically going over the line that you already created. Now it's time to top coat it. And I just went in, y'all, and top coated it really, really well. Try to get into every little nook and cranny because if you don't cover it, your nail polish will start chipping off. So then I go in and I'm just gonna go ahead and top coat everything. And now that I'm looking at it, I kind of like the matte look. I should have like glossed up the cherries and kept the nails matte. But I just don't like matte for a long time. Like I'll keep it on for one day and then top coat my nails. Now I'm gonna go ahead and rub on, cuticle oil because my cuticles be looking grandma-ish. And this is the final look, y'all. I absolutely love these nails. I be getting all the compliments and Kiss Acrylic. I did all this for under $20. Like, what happened? But be sure to like and subscribe to my channel. Comment down below if you guys want more tutorials on this or if you guys want me to do a specific video on something else. But be sure to go binge watch some of my videos, girl. And I'm going to see you guys next time. Love y'all. Bye.